Keith Paints.
Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Keith Paints. Today, I'm presenting my entry in Season 2 of Goobertown Roulette. If you're not familiar with Brent from Goobertown Hobbies, you should definitely check out his channel. I've left a link in the description. This season of Goobertown Roulette is a Magic the Gathering crossover. Roll 2d6 to determine the color combination of the model, each color having specific attributes associated with it in the Magic the Gathering card game. More on them in a bit. The models I would like to paint are the Titans of Adventure Series 1 by Titan Forge Minis on Patreon. If you become a patron of theirs, you get these and much more in the welcome package. Now, you're supposed to randomly select a model to paint, but fun facts, no. So one fell off the table, and re-rolling it knocked this 1 here into a 5, and I'm okay with that. Now we have at least one of each color. These two in the middle did both end up being red-green, which I wasn't sure about, but then I saw it. I had two groups of adventurers, the blue-black and the black-white together, and the two red-greens together. Let's start with the dark side. The files for these models list them as an elf mage and a tiefling warlock. The races can't really be changed without altering the models, but the elf could be one of a number of different magic users. The tiefling, on the other hand, has an imp hanging off of her weapon, so she's kind of stuck as a warlock, which is actually fine. It suits the blue in her color combination really well. Blue is interested in acquiring knowledge and bettering oneself, and the 5th edition Player's Handbook describes warlocks as seekers of knowledge and power. They bind themselves to powerful patron gods, often fiendish in nature, to gain the power necessary to acquire the knowledge they seek. That and her tiefling race both mesh nicely into the black in her color combination. In Magic the Gathering, black is swamps, represented by amorality, selfishness, parasitism, and death. Tieflings are descendants of a person who struck a pact with a great demon, and tieflings tend towards a chaotic evil alignment. This is Nemea, a tiefling warlock with a great old one for a patron. She grew up a street urchin before being chosen by her patron. While initially afraid of the old hag that dragged her away, another patron to the great old one, she soon came to love her new life and her new powers. Sometime later, her patron leads her to Biro Nailo and bids her aid him in his journeys. Biro Nailo, Biro Nightbreeze in common, is an elf wizard with a black-white color combination. Black and white are opposites on the color wheel, so Biro is a little bit conflicted. White represents order, peace, conformity, and structure. Quite the opposite of death and decay. After much reading, I decided he would be a wizard, specifically a diviner. At a young age, young by human standards, he began having nightmares, and only too late learned they were prophetic. Orcs destroyed his village, and only through visions did Biro survive. He was taken in by another village, but was never the same. As an adult, his goal is to become as powerful as possible so he may impose an order upon the world. Alright, on to the final two. We have a dwarf priest and a human paladin. They both have spellbooks, but if you ignore that, either of them could be any of a number of different classes. I ended up making them a dwarf cleric and a human paladin, so nothing fancy there. They both have a green-red color combination. Red is mountains, freedom, and fury, and known for fireball spells. Green is forests, nature, interdependence, and instincts. These two colors both have their own paladin build. The Oath of Vengeance is about righteous fury, but unfortunately does not provide any fire spells. Takers of the Oath of the Ancients, on the other hand, are often referred to as Green Knights because they fight for their love of life and nature, not for courage and honor. And it comes with great spells like Speak with Animals, Plant Growth, and Commune with Nature, amongst others, which are all a perfect match for green. I think we found our paladin build. This is Tessel Tallstag. She is of a hermit background and has felt the call of the ancients, begging her to discover them. finally we have our Dwarf Cleric. Clerics have a number of sub-builds, but I felt the best for either a red or a green build would be the Light Domain Cleric, mostly because of the fire spells. All the fire spells! This is Orsic Frostbeard. He spent many years as a sage, but when asked by Tessel to accompany her on a holy quest to ancient ruins, he could hardly say no. In the coming weeks I will post a video where I paint each one, and discuss their characters in a little more depth. I really enjoyed reading the player's handbook and creating each of these characters, and the random Magic the Gathering colors made for a really great base to create them around. I know a few other models that would definitely lend themselves well to this kind of paint scheme through character creation via Magic the Gathering color. So what do you think of my Goobertown Roulette Titans of Adventure? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.